Hi, I'm Jean Nolte, editor at Fons & Porter.
And I'm Colleen Tauke, the sewing specialist at Fons & Porter. In this tutorial, we will show you how to create a positively simple quilt.
For the pattern for this quilt, go to shopfonsandporter.com/quiltingquickly. All right, so this is a quilt that I actually made, and I used a pack of 10-inch squares, although I didn't use them as 10-inch squares. So the first thing that I did was figure out what I could get out of one 10-inch square. So we're going to show you here. If you take that 10-inch square and you cut a 6.5-inch wide strip, a 2.5-inch wide strip, then you got this little bit that you don't need.
So it goes away.
Okay, so from the 6.5-inch strip, we cut a 6.5-inch square, and that's going to be those alternate blocks. A 2.5 by 6.5-inch strip, and get rid of that.
A little bit of waste, not much.
Nope. From the 2.5-inch strip, you cut two 2.5-inch squares, and that's extra.
Yep.
So these are the pieces you're going to need to make the quilt, along with some background pieces. So this is ready to go just like it is, so we're going to set that one. I'll put it over here.
Okay.
So these are the pieces we would need to make a plus block. So it would look like this, and then we need some background squares. All right. So 4 squares.
We're creating simple rows to construct.
Yep. And these don't look like they're going to match up, but they will once you stitch those.
All those seam allowances to take in. So quickly, 1, 2, 3, we'd have rows created. And the blocks will look like this.
Get that out of the way. So you make all of your plus blocks, and you have all of your plain squares already cut. So the next thing we're going to do
3 components are ready.
is
Make
rows. All right, and if you look at the quilt, you'll notice the first row starts with a plus block on the end, and it alternates a plus block, plain square, and they're joined by these sashing pieces. So you join the correct number to make the first row. Now the next row is going to start with a solid square and then the plus block. And then we're going to join them together. So you'll see we've already sewn the horizontal sashing strip that's going to go in between these 2 rows. So once you have it on there, we have a little trick to get it so they line up perfectly from row to row. So
we've created all those sashing pieces, and we like the plus block and the solid block to kind of float over the background. We don't want them to be misaligned by 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch.
That would really stick out.
Yeah, that would be very obvious in this quilt. So what Jean is going to do is put in a ruler snugged right up against the sashing bars that we've created in the first row. Just take that and put a registration mark onto that long sashing so that we can line everything up nice and square.
So once you've got all of those lines on there, we're just going to take this and put it like this, because
right sides together.
Right sides together, and then you just line up with the seam lines of those sashing right there, right here.
By the time you've made this many blocks,
All
your
the way.
piecing is so consistent that it's going to lay together really quite easily.
Now I'm going to pin these.
You're going to have longer rows than what we have here, just because we don't have very much space, so we made them a little shorter. But you're going to be moving this to the sewing machine, so you don't want them to slide apart. So a couple of pins every other
I would pin at
intersection.
least every sashing strip, if not both sides of them. So then you're going to sew with a 1/4 inch seam along here, and then we're going to just pretend that that's sewn, and I'm going to pull those pins back a little. And when you open it up,
they'll be perfectly aligned.
You'll see how nicely these are aligned, and it'll make your quilt top look nice and straight. Basically, once you have those rows joined together, you're about done.
A little bit of a border, and your positively simple quilt is complete. Thanks for joining us today.
To see more of our videos, go to video.fonsandporter.com.